Hello, my name is Nathan. Currently, I'm playing Minecraft and I feel like I'm losing my mind and my grip on reality, like I'm growing weaker and weaker. Like I'm going insane. Look, let me explain. One Friday night, me and my friends were having fun playing games at Gustav's place. Because he has the best games ever. We played it for hours until my mom agreed to pick us up and drop us off. As me and my friends were discussing what we should do to Minecraft that night, Gustav wanted to make a castle. But I didn't really want to because it seemed way too easy. Instead, we decided to make a town with everything, you need, like houses, stores, police, and a hospital. Suddenly, a car almost crashed into us, leaving us all scared as my mother screamed at the driver that drove off. And she decided to say it by saying some bad words that even I can't say. That's when my friend Nick decided to also make a gas station as well to our town. When we all got into our homes, I quickly ran to my room when the lights suddenly flickered, which I was a little shocked by, but made sure my parents would not interrupt me by locking the door anyway. Me and my friends got online. My username is Nathan Raygun 457 because I like Minecraft and playing zombies. My friends' usernames were Gustav Poopman, Roy's Chicken Dinner, and Pharaoh the Barrel. He was always really grumpy but realistic when it comes to building stuff. We decided to name our town after where we live, which I cannot pronounce for the life of me, honestly. I don't know how to really pronounce words yet. I'm gonna try my best though. School O'Harry. Yeah, that. I don't know where I really live. My mom never tells me really much. We continued to build the house, making everything we said we were going to build, which required a lot of resources, so I was in charge of getting wood. A couple hours into the game, I noticed a valley of dead trees and plants, and a bunch of rotten flesh, and the biome was all gray, as well as the sky there. I texted my friends if Minecraft got a new update recently or something, and they said no. Then I told them to come over here. Eventually they came and saw the biome I was talking about, but they said it looked normal. Apparently on everyone else's screens they were seeing a normal plains tree valley, and they were wondering was that what I was talking about, and maybe they thought I was going nuts or something. So I said, do you guys not see the rotten flesh everywhere? And they responded with, dude, what rotten flesh? Then I realized I might just be going crazy, and left the area thinking that my game was glitchy or something, I don't know. They suggested I log back in, and that's exactly what I did, and when I came back, they were right. Suddenly everything else was back to normal. So I shrugged it off as just a glitch. Then about an hour later, I was building the tower fence for mobs, not spawning and trying to kill me. I saw something in the distance, a dark figure in the hills near our base. I scrambled to get my friends to get to see that thing, but when I got back, it was already gone. And it told me to get back to work on the hospital instead of work on the fence, and that's what I did. Then not long after that, I saw that thing again, this time closer to the base in the broad daylight, but the ground was around him was just gray and rotten flesh everywhere. I was getting scared at this point. I saw it earlier, and earlier it was there. I couldn't see much from this distance, but I made sure I wouldn't get closer. I immediately told my friends to look at this, and when they got there, it was gone again. Now they began to think I was actually really crazy. They told me to go into our Minecraft house and try to relax for a bit. And when I got there, I swear, not even 5 minutes later, after they left, I saw it again. This time outside near the shore looking at me. I got my friends and tried to show them this time. I wore armor to fight this thing this time, but when I got there, it was gone. And my friends were furious, thinking that I was wasting their time. So they decided to put me in the criminal cell, which we had just in case someone stole something from one of us. They put me in and I begged them to let me out, but they said I need some time to relax and calm down until I was normal again, so we won't let you out. Then they left, making me furious. Then a while passed when I was in there. I was so bored, until suddenly I noticed a player has joined in, spawning my cell named weird name. It's like gibberish, I can't tell, which I think is gibberish. He comes up to me and tells me over and over again, wake up, wake up. I at this point was scared. The server is private, plus we're playing only vanilla Minecraft here. I asked him what did he want, and he kept saying, wake up, over and over again. Eventually I got sick of it, so I screamed, shut up. And so he did. Then he said, I thought at first he was talking about the cell, so I mean like, you mean the cell? And he replied, no, this world. This world? Does he mean the server? Why do I need to leave the world? Because if you don't, bad things will happen to you, and I can't let that happen. Bad things? Like what? I replied. The realization. That doesn't answer my question. You've been seeing a dark figure around the place, right? I stood there, shocked of what I just heard. How do you know that? That doesn't matter. What matters is that if he catches you, you will be stuck here forever. Stuck here forever? Does he mean the server again? You're saying I'm stuck here? Not yet, but even if he does catches you, yes. I didn't trust this guy. Main reason why I didn't trust him was his skin looked like a bloody boy or something, but his hair color was which made me feel suspicious of him. But no other choice I had to ask, what do I need to do? He replied with, you need 3 keys, which you will get 1 per day. You will probably notice that your door is locked, and you won't be able to leave until you complete this. Be careful at night. There will be times where a figure will come out of your closet, and you will need to flash it with your flashlight. But never open the closet, no matter what. Now I will teleport you to the location of the first key, which is inside the life-size version of your toy temple's toy set. I was super confused on what he just was saying. Like, I need a flashlight at night, my door will be locked, and my toy set would be in Minecraft? But with no other way to escape, I listened to him and said, yes, come on, let's go. I suddenly got teleported to the snow biome as it was blizzarding hard, which was crazy because I could feel the coldness somehow. I don't really know how, but I could feel as well. I walked further through the snow, but the more I pushed further and further, I started seeing things in the shadows. I proceeded, one was tall, and 3 of them were short and were running. Playing, I was trying to find what the figures were, but then when I got there was nothing. Like they faded into they blended into the blizzard. But then there was one figure that I saw that sent shivers down my spine. Figure, but instead of being gray, it was blending to smoke. It was dark, then coming closer. The more it came closer to me, the more the world started to glitch. Eventually it turned gray. But luckily for me, I found a temple and quickly got the key. And then the game crashed with the text, go to sleep, come back the next day. I was so scared and confused. The first thing I thought that I was going crazy, that I might have hit my head too hard earlier. Now I'm a dream. So I tried opening the door, but it was locked. What? I thought. I tried even harder and harder to open the door and eventually tried to break down the door, but nothing worked. I even tried breaking the windows in my room, but they were like made of bedrock or something. Eventually I gave up and just tried to go to sleep, hoping I'll wake up and this will all be over. Suddenly I began hearing noises and noises. It sounded like something slimy moving on the floor. Heavy breathing. I never what the strange player said about flashing. And I quickly flashed my flashlight. I saw tentacles sticking out of the closet that looked like black ink, spreading, and a face with a huge jaw and a long tongue. But as soon as I flashed it, the thing hid back in the closet, and I was freaking out. I tried to call my mom and dad, but nothing worked. Then I began thinking that I was in a nightmare and just couldn't wake up. I tried hitting myself and waking up, but it didn't work. It didn't do anything. I eventually began crying, being terrified and scared and alone, wondering why can't I wake up? Maybe I was just going crazy. None of this was real. I was going crazy. But that wouldn't explain why my door is locked shut and why my windows are rock solid. I tried going back to sleep, but I couldn't stop thinking about the monster in my closet. A couple minutes later, I heard the tentacles moving and quickly flashed it this time. I only saw a couple tentacles this time. After one more time of that thing showing up, I was finally able to sleep and woke up the next day. But it seemed like I slept through the entire day. When I woke up, it was already sunset. It was still only me and no one else there. And I realized I might be able to contact my friends for help. I logged back in and luckily saw my friends were on the server. When I joined my friends, they were apologizing for me and for being so mean to me for locking me up yesterday. I forgave them pretty quickly, but I told them everything that happened to me yesterday, which they still thought I was going crazy. but they respect it? What the fuck? I was not going crazy, and they thought I was. I was, and they respected it. I'm not going crazy. I saw what I saw. I can't leave my room, and I'm trapped. I screamed. I begged them to come over and open the door to wake me up. Suddenly, all my friends split down and were kicked out the server. But it said something that confused me so much. Gustav Poopman has been. Roy's chicken dinner has been. Pharaoh the Barrel has been. Guys, I screamed. Now I was freaking out. All my friends had just been kicked out of the game, and some weird mumbo jumbo text pops up. I was horrified and I'm scared, and I started freaking out when suddenly, wake up, wake up. I turn around and see the same dark, strange figure. I immediately demand what happened to my friends. He says, "Why do you care about them?" "Because they're my friends," I replied, screaming. Then he says, "No, they're not." Then the strange player began talking. "The next key is inside an end dungeon, which is inside a massive cave. Your goal is to simply get the key. But for tonight, it's going to be a little different. Your door won't be open, but at all costs," screaming at the top of his lungs that the world turned red around him. "Do not open the door. Even if you hear rattling and knocking and voices of anyone, you know you must not open the door at any cost. Got it?" I quickly nodded my head. "This time, your monster in the closet will not be scared. You will flash it if you flash it from far away. You will have to wait until it's up close to your face to flash it to make it go away. Luckily, you only have to do this once in the night. And whatever you do, don't follow it. That's about it now. I will teleport you to the entrance of the cave entrance. Are you ready?" A side of me wanted to leave, but I knew this was my only way out of the hell I've been through. So I'll do whatever it takes to get me out of here. So I tell him, "Send me in." When I was teleported inside the entrance of the cave, it looked like a bunch of skeletons and skulls everywhere. But the eyes were filled with water for some reason. Kinda looked like it was crying. Even though I felt creeped out, I kept going further inside. The more deeper I went, the more I noticed that the one torch I had would all of a sudden flicker a lot. Also, as I heard someone else crying, it sounded a little distorted. As I approached it, whatever this thing was, I saw a skull that looked like Gustav's player model. I was shocked. See my friend dead there on the ground. Suddenly the person's crying stopped. I looked at me, and she appeared to be a girl crying with bloody tears and orange eyes. As she shrieked, this terrible sound went across the entire cave. As I ran away, I could tell that thing was gaining up on me, and now with 8 limbs and upside down head with a twisted smile. I wasn't really focusing on where I was going. I was running. All I wanted to do was get away from this thing. Suddenly, I fell down a huge ravine. Luckily, I landed in water and looked up and noticed the monster was gone. I was paralyzed of how I was so close to dying. I think that's what he meant when he said, "Don't follow it." I eventually got up and saw the entrance to the end portal tunnels. I quickly ran inside. I looked around but noticed that everything was gray and dead, which confused me a little, considering how bare bones this place was already. Suddenly I heard crying, but from multiple voices sounding like they were trapped, and it was coming from all directions. I kept trying to look for the end portal, but as I kept looking, I noticed the same dark figure coming closer and closer, and this time it would teleport around to different hallways. It was running more and more. I kept running into the same monster and more. And the more I kept running into it, the more the game started lagging and glitching, as the voices would continue on crying and begging for help. And the dark figure I could tell was holding something. It kind of looked like a long sword or something. So I kept running away, trying to get the voices out of my head. And finally, I found the key, and I jumped into the portal. Then the same text from before popped up. "Go to sleep. Come back the next day." After that, I took a break, but kept wondering what on earth is going on. Where are my friends? Will I ever see them again? Am I trapped in here forever? Eventually, night fell. I tried sleeping and remembered what the strange player said. This time your monster in the closet will not be scared if you flash it from far away. You'll have to wait until it's up close to your face and then flash to make it go away. Luckily, you only have to do this once in the night. So that's exactly what I did. But I didn't know when to properly flash it in his face. So I waited and eventually dozed off. When I suddenly wake up, I'm hearing the same slimy sounds and heavy breathing. But this time I could tell that I could feel it was near my bed as it approached closer and closer until I could hear the slimy sounds now on my bed. And it was near my face, so I flashed it in his face and saw something I would never forget. It was much scarier than the monkey, Simba's. It had a massive, it was about to bite my head off. The teeth was so big and scary. It had pure black eyes, no pupils, like it had no soul. It had long, slimy tentacles coming out of its arms and legs, and its body looked like it was sliced up, open and dripping out black liquid. Suddenly, the thing quickly ran back inside the closet, and I desperately wanted to check the closet to see if it was there, or what it was, but I remember what the strange player said: don't ever open the closet. You might be asking, why am I trusting this guy so much? Well, it's because I can't escape, I lost all my friends, and all this weird stuff going on in Minecraft. It would be a dumb idea to anger the thing that could easily end my life. I have no choice but to trust that guy with my life. Then, I hear scratching outside my door, as if someone was dragging something sharp. Then it stopped as it reached my door, and I began hearing knocking and rattling on the door, as if it was locked, but I knew it wasn't locked. It continued doing it more angrily and furiously. I didn't know how much I could take it. Eventually it stopped, and the scratching from before came back as it faded away. At this point I might regret, but my curiosity was killing me. I had to see it. When I opened that door, I saw the hallway was pitch black, but I could tell the same dark figure from Minecraft was there, walking away from my door. I could tell whatever it was running low. I shut my door shut as I heard the scratching fade away. Before there was nothing, and beginning to feel tired, I fell asleep. But right before I did, I looked at the room and realized how much I kind of loved my room. It was nice and calm, had posters from everything I love, even had a picture of my mom and dad at Disney World. I wonder if one day I'll ever see them again. But anyway, after that I fell asleep, and I had a dream of a bright light in my face with people around wearing masks for some reason. I noticed I couldn't move as the people shuffled around, grabbing a tube, and then someone grabbed an air mask and put it on my face, and then I suddenly woke up again in the same room, and my Minecraft computer was on, and I realized it was time to get out of here. Today, I eventually logged on in Minecraft again. This time, when I logged in the world, I was in the town we were working on and saw it was already finished. Honestly, it looked incredible. The lights were shiny and tall. It was like it was brand new. If only I could have seen it with my friends. Suddenly a text box shows up from the strange player saying, "The last key is in your house. Come and we can leave this place." I was so happy. I started running down the street. I lived after all. All this night that can finally be over. The more I ran down the street, the more I noticed the red spots everywhere, and right on the wall. I'm sorry, it's not your fault. Soon we'll be together again. I was a little creeped out, but I kept running, not caring at all. It was finally over. The more I ran, more red spots appeared, and eventually everything was covered in red. As I made it down the street, I noticed a car off the road with people around it. Some of them crying, while others were writing and talking. And I looked inside and I couldn't see anything, but the red stuff was leaking out the car, which made me sick. Someone could have been hurt here. Luckily, it wasn't like the monster in the cave, and the people did not notice me at all, as I was like invisible or something. Finally, I made it down to my house, but it was black and bleak, like the life has been sucked out of it. I could tell the black liquid was spilling out of the house. I went inside knowing that this was the end of this nightmare. I ran inside and looked around at my house, but I couldn't find anything until I suddenly heard a pan hitting together. And then I saw the same monkey monster from my closet, and this time it was right up in my face. It yelled out the store of war as it began chasing me. I quickly ran up the stairs using a clock tower to slow down, but it just went past through it, like it wasn't real. I quickly booked it down the hall, which was pitch black like my hallways in real life, and the monsters was on my tail. And they yelling my name too. But the more I kept running for my life, hoping that there would be something at the end of the hall. I suddenly saw the key. I quickly sprinted towards it, but the monster leaped out at me, and then I opened my eyes. The bright key was in my hands and the monster was gone. I felt so happy it was finally over. Suddenly in real life, the lights flickered. The place stopped working. And I thought that meant I was finally going to get out of here, but the game kept playing eventually. Then I heard footsteps through the darkness of the hall. It was the strange player, but he looked different. He looked like Nick. He was Pharaoh the Barrel in Minecraft. Then he started talking. I'm sorry, but this was the only way. Suddenly you hear the same scratching from the halls in real life from before. What's going on? I screamed at him. If we want to be together, all of us, this is the only way. I'm sorry I had to end like this, but trust me, it will be all over soon. Then he turned into the figure I've been seeing this entire time. This time I could tell he was wearing a dark robe with skulls behind him. And he was holding a sickle. Suddenly the doors open as the game crashes and I start panicking. No. What's going on? What's going to happen to me? Will I ever see my family and friends again? No. I can't think straight. I must all criminal reality as the world fades into black as I close my eyes. What I can hear is beep, 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 beep. Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. This one is probably the hardest creepypasta I've worked on so far. It did take a while to make this, especially how much effort was in this story. I thank you all for waiting for this creepypasta. If you want me to read your scary story, then send it through me to Gmail in the about section. Just don't make me wet myself while I'm reading it. The next creepypasta I'm working on is definitely going to take a while, but it's about time I make it. Like and subscribe for more content, and if you want to scare your friends, share this video with them. And as always, good night everybody. Sweet dreams.